I also work as a blogger, and I write blog articles on one of the largest digital tech media in Japan, called IT Media. It's a SoftBank subsidiary. SoftBank, I'll explain a little bit later. The blog title is Hidden Tech Nation, Ukraine. And you can take a look at my blog. And here's the URL. Unfortunately, it's all in Japanese. You can use Google Translate. Yeah. So one of my biggest achievements that you can see, I helped IT Ukrainian Association and JASIPA, which is a Japanese IT association, to sign a memorandum of understanding last month. I invited the embassy people and a lot of press at the event, and it was quite big. It made a huge publicity. So, how many of you guys been to Japan? Only one, okay. And what do you know about Japan? What's the first word that comes into? Okay, sushi. What else?
Technology.
Anime. Okay. Anything else? Huh?
Expensive.
Expensive. Yes. It is certainly, but I'll get it. It's not that actually expensive. Huh? Hardworking. Robert, somewhere. Okay. Let's see what we have. So we got geisha right here, and Pikachu, and sushi, of course. Where is Japan? You probably know where Japan is, but it's not. Of course, it's not in Africa or Europe. It's in Northeast Asia. Orange is Ukraine, and green is where Japan is. So it's pretty far, but a friend of mine said, actually, Japan and Ukraine are neighbors because there's only Russia in between. That is true. This is Japan. So that's Tokyo right there. Kyoto, which is an old town like Lviv equivalent. And that's Osaka. It's I think second, third big city. That's Fukuoka right there, almost South Korea. And that's my hometown. It's called Toyohashi. It's a small town, but that's where I'm from. So 5 facts about Japan. It's the third largest economy in the world after USA and China. 11th largest population. We have 120 million as opposed to 45 million that you guys have. Japan provided monetary assistance of 3.1 billion as of 2017, which not many people are aware. 31 million foreigners, foreign tourists visited Japan in 2018, and actually 2% of the Japanese population is not Japanese. So, which is quite, we would say Japan is quite homogeneous. Actually, like monocultural, monoethnic. I believe that Ukraine is kind of something similar, but I know you have a lot more diversity. But Japan is a highly monocultural society. Here are the 5 myths about Japan. Japanese work to death. What we call karoshi, which in Japanese means overwork this. In fact, that's a big miss. Well, it was highlighted in the 1980s, but it's not. It doesn't happen that often. It could happen in the world. Japanese work long hours. Statistically speaking, Japanese don't work as long as Americans, Italians, Greeks, and South Koreans, which is hard to believe. If you want to see the statistics, I can show you after the presentation. Japanese don't like foreigners. That's a huge misconception. In fact, not at all. my personal experience, Japanese love foreigners, and they have great hospitality. Japan is very expensive. Actually, it is cheaper than many American cities. Well, San Francisco, New York, certainly a lot of cities in the U.S. are nowadays far more expensive than Tokyo, for example, and Western Europe. Scandinavian cities are far more expensive. Japan is a world-leading tech country. I personally think it is a lie. We love paperwork and cash payment. A lot of restaurants and shops, they don't accept credit card, believe it or not. So Japan, China, South Korea, people mix up those three countries often. Let's see the difference. China is a fast world, the most rapidly growing economy, and it's a huge market. However, it's highly competitive, too many regulations, uncertain laws, business culture, and as you probably know, the recent news that America declared economic war against China, so it is very, very tough market to get into. South Korea, it is a free capitalistic nation, Republican. Uniqlo is relatively unknown outside of Japan, I think, but in Europe, if you go to, for example, Germany, UK, France, they have, you might, if you ever travel to those countries, you probably have seen Uniqlo. It is an apparel clothing shop where they sell clothes. But actually, the CEO of Uniqlo is the richest man in Japan. So it is quite huge. Out of all the export of Japan, 23% of Japanese export consists of automotive, and 38% electronics. So 61% is either automotive or electronics, and only 39% of Japanese export is other industry sector. So we are heavily, Japan is heavily relying on automotive and electronics export. Since we have virtually no natural resource and very few agricultural products. So mostly Japan import most of those from other countries. So let's see. This is a graph that shows big Japanese companies top 10. So Toyota, in terms of market cap, it is the largest Japanese company. By the way, Toyota is from my home prefecture, so I'm personally very glad to see this graph. And SoftBank. SoftBank, I'll get to that later, but it is an IT company. It's not a bank. It sounds like it's a bank, but it's not a bank. NTT is a telecom company. Keyence, IT, NTT Docomo, it's a mobile carrier, and etc. And if you just focus on internet and IT companies, and SoftBank is, as you can see, it's significantly larger than other companies, followed by Rakuten, and I'll explain that a bit later. And any other IT companies that are really tiny. What is SoftBank Group? So it was founded by a gentleman called Masayoshi Son. It is a Japanese telecom and IT company. He went to University of California, Berkeley, and his personal net worth is $23 billion. Currently second richest man in Japan. and he's a 43rd richest man in the world, according to Forbes, as of 2019. His company invests in Uber, Slack, Boston Dynamics, Sprint, WeWork, some of the tech firms in Silicon Valley. But below is his brother, Taizo Song, and he's most notably well known as an investor of Lift 99, which is an Estonian co-working space incubator ecosystem for startup firms. I will recommend the management to the local team to decide what marketing strategy they should adopt. And you need to invest a certain amount of money and the time to show your commitment to the market. So these are the companies that failed in the Japanese market that were coming out. Vodafone, as you probably know what Vodafone does, it's a mobile carrier. Came to Japan in the early 2000s, but the operation only lasts for several years, and they quickly sold their local operation to SoftBank. eBay, we already have a local platform called Yahoo Auction. And American automobile companies, a lot of them are not very successful in Japan because they don't understand the local market. American cars are just too big for Japanese streets. They don't seem to understand that we have small streets, and you can't really drive American cars in Japan. They're just too big. Uber is surprisingly not. It's a highly regulated in Japan because there's a strict regulation. And WhatsApp. We have our own WhatsApp equivalent app. It's called Line. So those are the companies that are successful in Japan. As opposed to the company that I listed out, these are the successful examples of companies that are huge, have huge success in Japan. And you might notice that there's a World of Tanks. It's a Belarusian computer game company. I'll explain how they succeeded in the Japanese market. So I'm going to have to play a little video. I hope there's sound. Is there sound? Yeah. Okay. So, all right. Is there sound? I hope there's sound. Actually, to explain, I like this company because I visited Belarus in 2003, and I met the founder of this company. He was running this company with 5 people in a very old-fashioned, very old Soviet apartment. And now they employ 5,000 people across the globe. They're very, very successful. The founder's name is Viktor Kisly. So at that time, I didn't know that this company could be, and he's the first billionaire from Belarus, and I think I think he's the richest man from Belarus. So okay. So let's see. Oh, still no sound. Well, I don't need to have sound, I guess. I don't know.
Let's try it once more.
Okay, let's try once more. Alright. So, I would like to explain how they succeeded in the Japanese market. What it means is that we have a lot of technologies that is uniquely evolved in Japan. One of the examples is it's called iMode, and that is smartphone before smartphone. So we have this flip-flop phone, old-fashioned phone that we could use to make a payment and watch TV and also internet surfing. And that was way before iPhone came out. That was like early 2000. And some people said, Steve Jobs stole this idea, came up with something. I'm not sure if it's true, but the problem was iMobile was only being used in Japan because they use different bandwidths, different technologies that aren't compatible with the rest of the world. And I think the reason of this syndrome is that we had 300 years of isolated era. We used to have samurai ruling the country, and we weren't trading or interacting with the rest of the world. And Japan is an island country, so we have this insular mentality that they weren't previously willing to interact with the rest of the world. And also, I'd like to point out that Japan has never been colonized by the West. If you look at the countries such as Singapore, Hong Kong, despite the fact that they are located in Asia, you can do business in the same way as you do in the West because of their colonized history. They share the same law and culture. Whereas Japan, due to this history, and it is quite different from the rest of the world. Number 4, don't be too aggressive. So Japanese like respect, harmony, which we call it in Japanese wa. So that means we try to avoid the conflict, and also we tend to work on long term and find a long-term partnership. So do not rush into the short-term profit, and just think for long term and try to build a relationship first, and then you can do good business together. But to do that, try to first don't be too aggressive because they might be intimidated or scared. So this is the last point, but learn the culture a little bit. So Japanese love welcoming foreigners. We are known to have great hospitality. However, I will strongly encourage you guys to study a little bit about Japan when you interact with Japanese customers, or when you ever visit Japan. Such as we have 3 different alphabets, and we address people by the last name with some. So my last name is Shibata, so people might call me Shibata-san, but I don't want to be called Shibata-san, but you can just call me Hiroshi. But some people might prefer to be addressed to me that way. So that kind of small things, I think it's good to know before you visit Japan, or even before you start doing business with Japanese. So how to establish contacts with Japanese companies. So I list out some of the things that I find useful. So like I said, discussed hire Japanese sales agent, and try to have your brochure, any marketing materials, website up in Japanese. I will recommend you to translate so that they can read. And use local business development or consulting firm. And if you have any friends or anyone.
Thanks a lot. Hiroshi, thank you very much for such a great presentation, first of all. And my question is about the necessity to have a Japanese representative, either here or let's say in Japan. as far as I know, about 80% of the population in Japan, they don't speak Japanese. Is it true? Like, oh, the English, sorry. Yeah, that's great. You got me. Right. So, yes, they don't speak English. What's your take on that? Do you think you would agree with the statement? And do you think it's really, like must have to have Japanese representative?
I think you need to have a Japanese representative, not only because of the language, because I would say most big Japanese companies, they have international division, and they normally have English speakers and like international sales who are fluent in English, and also like the smaller scale startups, because they have to be competitive, so they tend to hire English speakers to be more internationally competitive. But I would recommend that you need to hire Japanese sales agent, because they know the market, and they know how to interact with Japanese companies, and they know what demand of the end client. So all those things that it takes, if you train, for example, Ukrainian salesperson to kind of educate or train all these things,